Lost in the Warp, factions of the universe's finest warriors battle in a no-holds-barred, all-out brawl for glory, honor, and blood.
It's DeadLocked Arena, baby!
The only place in the Warp where you can watch non-stop action.
I'm Craig Capital.
I'm Harry H. Hostel.
And I'm Chris Punishment. We're the official announcers for this match.
Welcome to the sixth match of this tournament and the last match of round 2.
Today we have the Fellgor Ravagers, a fierce team of goats who have shown their growth in the first round by being a powerful melee team.
They'll be facing against the Deathwatch Verterans. Wait, where are they? Holy sh! Where did they come from?
I don't know, but it looks like they're raring to fight the goats.
Why do they look this
Well,
way?
it looks like the Deathwatch had a slight hostile takeover, so we'll just run with it. The Alpha Legionaries will be facing off against the Fellgor Ravagers. They'll be led by the aspiring champion and supported by the Balefire Alkalite, Butcher, Heavy Gunner, Shrive Talon, and the Anointed.
They'll be facing off against each other in the Knockmun map. Mission, cripple their infrastructure. The attacker's job is to plant charges on the exhaust vent, power relay substation, thermatic plasma regulators, and the crane. And as more and more get destroyed, the defenders will lose points, so their job is to stop the attackers from even planting the charges.
With the teams deployed and dice ready, let's get on to the roll-off.
Looks like the Alpha Legion wins the roll-off. They decide to defend, meaning they'll get to deploy first, and the Fellgor Ravagers will go first.
The Fellgor Ironhorn uses Call of the Attack to dash forward the Vandal onto the power relay substation.
The goats figured out how to get onto an objective before the first turn even happened.
Now get ready for this first move. The Vandal plants a charge on that power relay substation.
The Alpha Legion's Heavy Gunner climbs his way to the top of the Ferrotonic Furnace.
That's a good spot to have. You can control the map from up there.
The Mangler runs up to an exhaust vent, but he's too dumb to figure out how to plant a charge, so I guess he's just going to stand there.
The champion moves forward and supercharges his plasma pistol to take a shot at the Vandal. He rolls 2 hits and 2 ones. He uses a command point to re-roll one of those ones and gets a 5, meaning he'll only take that single one for 3 mortal wounds due to the hot rule. The Vandal automatically retains a save from his cover, but he doesn't have anything else to roll with due to the Plasma's AP2. He takes 10 damage and is frenzied.
It's going to be hard to defuse that charge with the Frenzied Goat still on the objective.
Yeah, the Alpha Legion are going to have to figure out how to get him off and defuse before it blows.
The Iron Horde charges the Iron Horde charges the champion. He rolls 2 hits and a crit, and because of rending, one of those normal hits will be a crit as well. The champion rolls 4 hits and a lethal 5. The Iron Horn sends through a crit for 5 damage. The champion sends through a hit for 6 damage, and the Iron Horn finishes him off by sending.
You're going to be finishing him off?
Yeah. The Iron Horn will be finishing him off by sending through his second crit, incapacitating the champion with 5 more damage.
Shrive Talon moves onto the power relay substation to attempt to remove the Vandal. He doesn't roll any crits, so the Vandal is just standing there.
Menacingly. The Herd Goat whips the Toxhorn, giving him an extra APL, and runs to the base of the furnace to avoid the inevitable onslaught from the Heavy Gunner.
The Butcher charges the Mangler. He rolls 2 5s and 2 crits. The Mangler immediately takes 4 mortal wounds from those 2 crits. The Mangler rolls 2 5s and 2 crits as well. He then sends through his crit for a whopping 7 damage, and the Mangler is frenzied, locking that Butcher in engagement range.
The Death Nail takes advantage of this and charges the Butcher. He rolls 2 5s and a crit, then spends a command point on Animalistic Fury. The Butcher rolls a 5 and a crit. The Death Nail blocks a crit with his crit. Butcher sends through 5 damage, and the Death Nail sends through the rest for 8.
The Balefire dashes forward and fire blasts the Herd Goat. Because of blast, this will also be hitting the Death Nail and his friend, the Butcher. He rolls a 5 and 3 crits. Off the rip, they all take 3 mortal wounds. The Herd Goat is unable to save and is frenzied.
The Toxhorn dashes up and plants a charge onto the exhaust vent.
That's a whole lot of bodies in one spot.
The Anointed changes position to hold a better...
The Anointed.
Huh?
The Anointed.
What did I say?
Anointed.
The Anointed changes position to hold a better defense over the thermic plasma regulators.
While everyone is distracted, the Flux Spray runs up and plants a charge onto another exhaust vent.
Those sneaky goats.
The Shrive Talon overwatches on the Iron Horn. He rolls a 5 and a crit. The Iron Horn makes a normal save but can't block the crit, taking 4 damage.
The Shaman runs up to cast Rejuvenation on the Death Nail, healing him for 3 health.
The Heavy Gunner then overwatches the Shaman. He rolls 2 5s, but rerolls his 1s due to Ceaseless, and gets 2 more 5s. The Shaman is unable to save and is now frenzied.
This is a bad time to be a goat. Wait, hold on, let me redo it. This is a bad time to be a goat.
I mean, that's for sure.
Gnarlscar dashes onto the thermic plasma regulator as the Gorehorn follows behind him.
Boom! All the charges go off, taking the Butcher with it, and hitting the Shrive Talon for 1 mortal wound.
Now that the frenzied goats are dropping off, the Alpha Legionaries reveal their attack off. Sacrilegious Mutilation. Sacrilegious Mutilation, putting a corpse token where all the frenzied goats fell.
Alpha Legion wins initiative again.
The Shrive Talon charges the Gnarlscar. He rolls a 3 and 2 4s with the lethal 5. The Gnarlscar only rolls a single hit. The Shrive Talon blocks the Gnarlscar's only hit and sends through the rest for 12 damage. The Gnarlscar is frenzied.
Toxhorn says "F you" to the lone Balefire and tosses a Pox Bomb over to him. It does nothing, so the Toxhorn whips out the piece and fires. Get 2 crits. The Balefire can't save and takes 6 damage.
The Heavy Gunner shuffles over to the other side of the furnace and fires across the map at the Flux Spray. He rolls 4 crits.
The Flux Spray is definitely frenzied after that one.
The Death Knell legs it up the furnace and charges the Heavy Gunner. He rolls 2 hits and a crit. The Heavy Gunner rolls 2 normal hits. The Death Knell sends his crit for 4 damage. The Heavy Gunner hits back with 3. The Death Knell parries the Heavy Gunner's last attack and sends his last hit through for 3 more damage.
The Balefire casts Siphon on the Toxhorn. Everything hits.
Normally.
As in it hits normal hits.
And it looks like Coach Cody is switching up to his goat dice from the Chaos dice, a sign of disrespect to the Legionaries.
The Toxhorn retains a save from his cover and rolls a crit. He barely survives with 1 wound remaining.
The Balefire then moves to support the Shrive Talon.
The Gorehorn charges the Balefire. All rolls are a hit, with one of them being a lethal 5. The Balefire rolls all normal hits. The Gorehorn sends through his lethal 5 for 5 damage. The Balehorn sends through 3 damage. And the Gorehorn sends a normal hit, incapacitating the Balefire. Due to head taker, the Gorehorn will regain 2 health from finishing the Balefire.
Coach Cody spins a command point for Ruthless Rampage. Then the Gorehorn charges into the Shrive Talon, able to fight again due to Champion. He rolls all hits. The Shrive Talon rolls 2 normals and a lethal 5. The Gorehorn sends through 5. The Shrive Talon sends through 5 with a crit. The Gorehorn parries with the normal hit, and the Shrive Talon sends through 3 damage. The Gorehorn sends the rest of his attacks through for 8, incapacitating the Shrive Talon.
And again, because of Head Taker, the Gorehorn regains 1 health.
Finally! It's time for someone else's turn! The Anointed charges the Gorehorn.
Isn't this like the 3rd time he's fighting this turning point?
The Anointed rolls 3 threes, and the Gorehorn rolls absolutely nothing.
I guess he had nothing left in the tank.
The Anointed deals 9 damage to the Gorehorn, frenzying him.
And while everyone was distracted by the brawl, the Iron Horde runs up and plants a charge on the crane.
Boom! The crane goes up in smoke.
Fellgor Ravagers win with initiative for once.
Death Knell continues their fight with the Heavy Gunner. He rolls a 4 and a 5. The Heavy Gunner rolls a 3 and 2 5s. Death Knell only needed to send through 4 damage, and the Heavy Gunner is out of here.
The Anointed picks up a corpse, and then moves to pick up another, meeting the requirement for their first point from their attack op.
Toxhorn moves closer to the thermatic plasma regulator as the Ironhorn tries to make his way there from the crane.
Fellgor Ravagers win initiative again.
Toxhorn moves into the thermic plasma regulator and plants a charge.
The Anointed charges the Ironhorn. He rolls a single 3. But he command point rerolls it and gets a 5 as well. The Ironhorn rolls a 5 and 2 crits. The Anointed sends through 4 damage, and it was just enough to frenzy the Ironhorn.
But the frenzied Ironhorn swings back. All of his rolls hit, and the Anointed rolls a 3 and a lethal 5. The Ironhorn sends through 4 damage, and the Anointed responds by sending his lethal 5 in, finishing off the frenzied goat.
The Death Knell hops off the furnace and plants a charge at the last thermic plasma regulator.
All the charges go off, and boom! The Fellgor Ravagers were able to destroy all objectives.
With the points finalized and all attack ops accounted for, the scores are in. 12-1. Fellgor Ravagers are the winners, baby!
After all 6 teams have completed their second battles, we're able to determine the semifinalists.
Here are all the final scores, meaning Coach Cody will be facing off against Coach Jake, while Coach Ian will be facing off against the winner of the losers bracket.
Thanks everybody for watching and joining us through this tournament. If you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell. And stick around for more DeadLocked Arena!